Oh, I think I have to mute myself if I remember.
No, you're okay, but it's saying waiting. It didn't link. I don't know if anybody can hear us. Just give me a second. I wondered if when I tried to fix the chat, if I screwed that up, and it looks like I might have. So just
let me see if anybody's on.
Oops, no, wait, something's playing. I can hear it in my browser. It must have just been behind. I gotta find it. I can't find the right window. I don't know if anybody can hear us. Just give me a second. I wondered. Okay, sorry, double audio, everybody. Just give me 1 second. Mute site. All right. Now, is that on your end or is that on my end? Do you have yours playing? No, that's saying that's playing in mine. I somehow got it still playing. Live streaming. There we go. I found it. Sorry, guys. I have like 5 different windows open. And it looks like the chat works. Look at that. Muncher Luncher's chat's up. So it's all good. Can you hear me okay, Laurie, now? Okay, now why do I not hear Laurie? Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, good. I should be able to hear both of us then. We should be good to go.
Okay.
All right. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome. At least we had a little bit less technical difficulties this time. But if you are here, welcome. We're going to be talking about the second episode of the second season of Dead City. I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. Do you have it playing on your computer? Make sure if you have YouTube open, you have it muted.
Yeah, I just changed it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, because I'm still hearing double. That's why I'm not sure why. Because I see 2 cam audios. It shouldn't be. Well, it's not too bad. Hopefully it's okay for everybody else. Let us know if you are having issues. We'll figure it out eventually. Oh, I got to stream to yours. I didn't even press stream to yours. Oh, yes. Okay, let's see. Okay, sorry about that. So if you're just joining us from Laurie's stream, hopefully it went live. This is what happens when you use free software. It's fun, but not until you figure it out. But anyway, welcome everybody. And like I just said a minute ago, before I remembered to start Laurie's as well, that we're going to be talking about the second episode of Dead City. So, all right. Let me get up I have so many windows going. I'm going to go nuts here. All right. So because I screwed up the very beginning of when I was trying to rewatch it during our watch party, I don't have enough notes from the very beginning. But so if I missed anything, you can tell me and we'll jump in. But Maggie and the others are headed over to they're headed over to Manhattan, or the island, as they say.
The island.
And they're going to go on the ferry, but Maggie knows this is a very bad idea, but nobody's listening to her because she knows the Croat is already aware of what they're doing. So it's not going to go well. And that's why I said I don't have enough notes for this part, but they're on the way over. Let's see. And there is the ferry right there. And yeah, pretty much nobody is listening to her. I think that's going to be that woman's downfall, Navarez, or however you say it, Narvaez, because she never listens to anything Maggie says.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Her acting is great, though. The actress, I'm very impressed with her.
Yeah, no, yeah, she is.
Because she was on Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
And she was really a young actress then. She was kind of new at it, you could see. But I can see how much better her acting is now.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said before, I hadn't watched it, so I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, so then we have Negan, who is in his prison cell again, because he's still not happy with what they're doing, but they at least don't have him locked in now. So I guess they're trusting him somewhat. But he sees Victor again, who plays his violin for him. And this is the part I don't remember what the conversation was, and I do not think I have it here at all, even in the original.
Oh, about between him and the violinist?
Yeah.
It was great. Basically, the violinist was talking about how his father made him learn how to play the violin. and he didn't like it. And basically, he played different composers, different arrangements, and he really didn't like it until he found Bach on his own. And because he loved Bach, he then embraced being a violinist. So I think he was telling Negan that story so that Negan would see something good in what he's doing, something to hold on to.
Yeah.
Because he knew Negan didn't want to do any of this.
Yeah, Negan is not down with any of the stuff going on, but as we said last week, the Dama has told him that his family is on the way there, so she's kind of holding that over him. And who is peeping me? Someone is peeping me. It's not for this; it's an advertisement. I'm like, I thought maybe it was somebody was saying it's not working. It's not working. No, it's an advertisement from a store. I just got a text message. So ignore that. So, but yeah, Negan is only helping them insofar as he's being threatened. His family's being threatened. So that's why he's agreeing.
Yeah, that's the only reason why he's doing anything. Otherwise, he would refuse completely. But yeah, so that guy was trying to help Negan.
Yeah, and that guy's name's Victor.
Victor, right.
Yeah. All right, so then back... This is where, that's where I wasn't sure where this happened. This is where they're setting up that they're planning, and they think they know everything. And like I said, they don't agree with Maggie when she tells them, hey, ferry's a bad idea. He already knows we're coming. He's going to see it a mile away, and we're all going to get killed. And they're basically like, we don't care. And she tells her she kicks her out of the tent, basically, right there, because she doesn't want to hear it. And then I believe that, yeah, she talks to Pearlie Armstrong outside. And he basically says that she might be right, but there's not a whole lot he can do about it. And I don't know if there was anything else in this conversation that I missed. I'm doing this part from memory still.
Well, she was saying that wait, did she find the fire yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. No, that's about it then.
Okay. No, I don't have detailed notes of this part. That's why I said this beginning part. I'm going by memory on some of it.
Okay.
Pictures help. Hey, it's not always perfect. It's still good. But yeah, then we go back to on the other side on Manhattan. We see Negan, and they're basically talking about how, I think I do have notes on this part, that they don't know yet if Kristoff and Bruegel, they haven't decided whether to join the fight yet.
Right.
So they're going to set up an attack on Maggie's people and the ferry. And he's saying that they need to do something like a bigger plan. Like they need to do something spectacular that will not only affect the people on the ferry, also the rest of their people, and even their own people. They need to show them that they're worth following, that they're, make them scared of them, I guess, was also kind of the point of that.
Right.
And so they're gonna do something bigger. That was what he had to say with the plan.
Right.
And
yeah. No, also Bruegel was saying that, Bruegel was saying we're fine. We can do this on our own. We don't need the other groups.
Yeah.
And he says, and if anything, they'll see what we can do, and then we'll get them on board with us in the future.
Yeah.
So they're kind of against everybody that they could do it themselves.
Yeah. And then there's also this part where she shows him this painting. I believe it was called Jupiter or something about Jupiter. It was by Goya. And she was saying that like he was doing something new and not shying away from the bad stuff, I guess, was kind of the point, because it's this violent painting. Yeah, I remember studying Goya in school, but I don't think we ever saw this painting. But it was something about Jupiter. And then that's when I caught up at the watch party and started taking it. So. But see, I'm hearing myself on your end.
That was one of Goya's paintings.
Yes, that's what I said.
Well,
yeah,
Goya
I'm hearing that on your end. I don't know. Hold on a a second. I'm seeing if I
Wait,
mute.
Jamie, are you hearing me?
Yes, but I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Are you sure you don't have the video playing on your end? Because I can hear myself talking
Okay,
even
can you
when
hear
I'm.
me now?
Yes. It
Jamie?
went away. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, hold on one second. Okay, do you hear me now?
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes.
I don't hear you. 1 second. What?
I'm assuming you can hear me now because I can hear myself now too.
Okay.
It's
Maybe I
okay.
have to
It's
change my
just a
audio
little.
setting.
It's a little like echoey. I don't know if other people can hear it. I can hear it. That's all. But yeah, it's. I mean, at least you can hear me. I guess it's more important you can hear what I'm saying. So.
Okay,
Still there?
sorry about that. It's just
No, it's okay. It's because your speaker or your microphone rather is picking up what you're playing on the speaker. I think that you need to probably wear headphones. I don't know. Mine, I've never worn
that's
headphones
what
and
I'm
it seems to be
thinking.
okay, but it's
Can
not
you
a
hear
huge
me
deal.
now?
I just knew I could hear it in the background.
Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
mine hears the echo as well.
Do you hear the echo now?
No, I don't hear it now. Did you
Okay,
switch to
good.
headphones?
Yeah, okay. So basically, Goya went through a period in his life where he really became very psychotic, and that's when he was drawing those pictures, that, like the one that she has, painting those grotesque images. so the symbolism here is Saturn. Is it Saturn that ate Jupiter?
Saturn at 8. It might be. I know it was something about about Jupiter. One of them ate the other. So
Right. So she said that Saturn devoured his own son, Jupiter, because Jupiter would have overthrown him. So he ate all of his children.
yeah.
So she's trying to say to them, if you try and do anything against me,
I'll just kill
I'm going
you.
to
I
take
don't
you
need you.
down. Right.
Yeah. Hey, Fletcher, welcome. It looks like I got the chat fixed because I'm seeing them in my OBS and you guys are seeing them when I type in YouTube. So, yeah, it's working. Unfortunately, because I used a different chat thing right now, yours isn't connected. We'll have to next week. We'll work on connecting both chats. But at least I see something. That's something, right? But yeah, sorry. I agree that I think she's like, I don't need you. If you don't listen to me, I will kill you. You're not. You are expendable, even though I've acted like I need you. I think she's letting them know that.
Right.
Yeah. So, and as I said, Negan tells them that his plan is that they need to do something bigger than what the Croat expected to do or what his plan was. And they're gonna make everybody hopefully follow them. At least that's what they hope. There we go. I see your comment too, so it's working. Yeah. All right, sorry, I got too many from this scene. All right, so then Maggie at the camp, she tries talking to Ginny and telling her that she's there for her, and Ginny is kind of not wanting to hear it, no matter what. Ginny is not impressed with Maggie. I don't know. Why do you think that do you think it's just like a teenage thing, or is she mad at Maggie? Because I don't know that she has a reason to be mad at her. Excuse me.
I just think that she's an angry teenager. She lost both her parents, and maybe she's jealous of that Herschel has his mom. I think that came across in this episode. She was watching them hug each other, and I think she's just angry about that. I don't think she's angry at Maggie per se. She's just angry at the situation.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, but I thought maybe I missed something. Thanks, Fletcher. You did this last week. Thursday is Last of Us. Because you missed our Thursday show. 8 o'clock Eastern Thursday is our Last of Us show. Monday is Dead City. Tuesday is our roundup. And Thursday is, well, I think this week, actually, I think we're going to be doing a Yellow Jackets episode. But we will be going on to
You're doing the Yellow Jackets?
Yeah, we haven't talked about all the details, but Scarlett and I decided we were going to do a couple Yellow Jackets episodes for Thursday in between, just until Librarians starts, which you are welcome to join us. I hadn't bothered to tell you yet because we still hadn't come up with a detailed plan, but we're going to be talking about some kind of theme, and I'm still trying to potentially get another guest on the show. So we're seeing how that goes. But yeah, we're only doing it just because we have a couple weeks in between until Librarians start. But yeah, Mondays, Dead City, Tuesdays is everything, and then Thursdays it's Last of Us and will be Librarians eventually. So yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked. So yeah, she's an angry teenager, and that's basically the gist of it. So Maggie sees a smoke signal across the water and wants to know, well, it's not exactly across the water because she walks to it, but she sees a smoke signal and she goes over to it to find out what it is, and she finds Herschel. So Herschel, I guess, decided that he thought she was in danger. So he decided to do what teenagers do, which is not listen to what she said. And he showed up anyway. And now that he sees, that there's a smoke signal, probably knows for sure they're there. He's even more like, well, this is a reason we got to go. And of course, Maggie can't go, but she does say that she will hide him until morning. And then she's got to, leave with the troops. But before that can happen, of course, unfortunately, they're caught. And Varys thinks she is abandoning them, which I think... Sorry, go ahead.
Before you go on, later in the episode, it's revealed what actually happened in this scene. In other words, who set the fire?
That was in this episode?
Yeah. Oh. In other words, okay, so we see that Maggie comes upon this fire.
Yeah.
And Herschel happens to be there at the same time.
Yeah.
We don't see a connection at this moment. But later in the episode, it's revealed that Herschel is the one that set the fire.
Okay. I must have been typing or something. I just wanted to make sure because that's a spoiler if it isn't in this episode. But yeah.
They don't show him doing it. But Maggie recognizes the rags that are on the tire were the same ones that Herschel had in his backpack when he was bandaging the person's leg.
That was okay. That's what that look was for. Cloth. Okay.
And that's why she was so upset. But we'll get to that later. But I just want to point that out now, that Herschel is the one who set the fire.
Okay. I didn't realize she had connected that. I didn't pick up on that. I mean, I watched her watching him bandage it, but I thought she was just kind of mad because
So that means that Herschel has been traumatized and what's the word I'm looking for? Brainwashed by the Dhamma. Yeah. That if there's ever, if anyone's attacking them, that he has to let them know.
Yeah.
So that's why later in the episode, when they're chained up, he says it's all my fault. I screwed this up because that's what he was referring to. But anyway, I'm just pointing that out now. But
no. I know that was what he was referring to, but I didn't realize Maggie realized it yet.
Yeah.
But okay, good. Yeah. You picked up on that. But yeah, that is my other question too. Is Negan must not know whatever's going on though, because if he did, I would think, and again, we'll get to this when we get to it. But I wouldn't think that he would have to make up a reason to Dhamma. Oh, I didn't kill this random kid, because he would know. I would assume that if she brainwashed him and is using him, that she wouldn't want him dead. So I don't know, but he must not know what's going on at any rate.
No, I don't think he knows.
Yeah. So she is yelling at Maggie. Well, it's mostly Navarus who's complaining, but thinks that. Sorry, hold on one second. I gotta scroll down to her mat. Thinks that she's deserting them, which I think was a big leap and a stupid, in my opinion, was a stupid thing to be like, oh, you're leaving us just because your son's here suddenly. Like, nobody said she was leaving. He showed up. I mean, yeah, she didn't expect him to be there, but yeah, I don't know. Do you think she kind of jumped to conclusions and should have waited to see? I think she's too. She already doesn't want Maggie there. It's clear she doesn't like her and is causing issues. And yeah, Maggie didn't really do anything wrong, and she keeps, accusing her.
Don't forget, in the beginning, she hung that guy.
She did.
I mean, she's just into power. This person, she wants power, and if you don't follow her orders exactly as she tells you, she'll kill you. That's
Basically,
Right.
yeah. But
Yeah.
she's not even the leader. That's what's funny. Like she's lower down in command, but yet she's the one that has the biggest the biggest mouth.
Exactly. Yeah. The other one defers to her.
Yeah. But Maggie's basically saying, we need to just take a small crew and send everybody else back. And because this is not going to work, he already knows there's nothing we can do. And that is where I think this must be, I'm a little bit ahead in the pictures because I think that's where she punches her. Um, they kind of look to him like, what does he think? And he says that if he knows they're coming, he'll expect them not to come till the next day. So if they instead rush their plans and change around all their plans, which I'm not sure that's the smartest idea, but if they leave right now, they'll have the element of surprise because they won't expect them to leave. But in this scene, she does end up punching Navarez because she won't shut up, and she gets in trouble because of it.
Right.
Okay, let's see. Compassionately said, did that go on the screen? Yes, it did. Says, I think she knows that Maggie set up Negan. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by set up Negan. Do you know what she means?
Oh, do you mean the Dama knows that that Maggie set up Negan through the Croat? Is that what she means?
Yeah, I'm not sure what she means. Whoop, there was another chat there that just disappeared. Message retracted. Okay. That's what that means, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure 100% if she means Navarez or she means something with the Dama. It's a rom-com.
It's a rom-com, yeah.
It's hilarious, I think, when she punches.
It was kind of stupid of Maggie to do that.
Yes, it was, especially when she's trying to protect Herschel, who clearly can't listen to her.
Right.
I think that was a really dumb thing to do.
Right.
So
and Maggie's very level-headed. Maggie is not somebody who lets her emotions rule her, so it's not even in her character to do that.
Yeah, I was really surprised she did. I feel like, look, this show sometimes the script isn't the best all the time. And
Right.
I feel like that was totally done for comedic effect. And
Yes.
I agree. I don't understand why Maggie would be stupid to do something like that. Her son's life is at risk. But
exactly.
She does, at any rate. And she locks her up in the bottom of the ferry downstairs. And she locks Herschel up too, which was even more mean, but clearly she did just to be mean because Herschel didn't do anything other than exist. But she locks him up as well. So then, you know what I realized? Sorry, I got sidetracked. I was just realizing there's like nothing on here, at least that I can see, that tells me how long. Oh no, yeah, there is. I was gonna say there has to be a clock there somewhere to tell how long we've been streaming. I found it. Never mind.
Oh,
okay. I'm still learning the program, but hey, at least I got it. Let's see. Ark says, "Hey, Ark, welcome." Says, "I feel like Alice in Wonderland. I'm late." Oh, I guess that wasn't a comment specific to the show, but hi. Sometimes I tend to click on the chat before I read the whole thing. That's okay. You're fine. We're not that far into the episode. But let's see. So then we go back to the other side to the island. I'm going to keep saying that because I think it's funny because you don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to irritate you. I just think it's funny now.
The island.
Go back to Manhattan. And they are, and I think this is where you know what? I think somewhere in here I missed something and I had this out of order. Maggie did tell, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Maggie did tell Armstrong was saying that she did tell him that the Croat already would have known they were there and they were coming, which he later kind of relayed to the other group, but I think I skipped saying that.
Uh-huh.
But I think this is where the Croat says something like, that what they're after is actually what's going to be their downfall is essentially what he says, because they're using the methane to shoot these things. They're filling the zombies up with methane and shooting them out of a cannon across the way. And they also have buoys that they've attached bombs to. And there's Negan setting up the bombs. And Negan seems to be kind of getting into it. believe he's being forced to do it. I don't think he's.
Oh yeah,
doing
I
it.
don't think he's into it at all. I think
No.
when they
He's
finally blew
pretending.
up. Yeah, when they blew up the boat, Negan smiled like, yeah, because he has to put on an act, right?
Yeah,
He has to
I agree.
seem like he's on board.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's all an act. He's doing a good job though, because I think
But
they
you
want
see
people
later,
to-
though, when he sees Maggie and Herschel, and he makes them wait, and Croat looks at him, and then he and Croat lock eyes, and Negan looks very upset, and Croat sees it.
Yeah.
See, he didn't want Croat to see him being upset.
He thought he didn't care that Victor saw, but he didn't want the crowd to see. But this is also before we get to that. Hey, DJ. Before we get to that part, there is a conversation here. Oh, hey, the little my emoticon wall, or whatever the hell you call it, work, the emoji wall. I don't know if it's in the right place, but I just seen a little muscle fly across the screen when DJ did that. So it's working. There's an emoji wall. It's supposed to, like, when people press a whole bunch of them pop up, but I didn't think I had it set up.
Oh,
right.
I see it now. Yeah.
But at least, hey, I got one of them. At least there's one emoji, right? Because I think you can actually even use. There's all kinds of things you can do, like custom emojis. So I'm learning. But hey, I did something right. That amazes me.
That's great.
But they're having this conversation. He's telling Victor about something that happened before with the Saviors and Negan, that they were attacked by a group, and Negan actually surrendered. And he's like, we can be friends, basically, is what he tells these people. And he throws a feast in their honor. But the feast is made up of walker meat that he feeds them. And obviously, I mean, they never really said for sure before if that would kill you. I mean, there was kind of mention with the whole tainted meat thing in the original. I don't know if it killed everybody or it kind of depended, but they did say the walker moat got fuller.
Right.
So,
well, they got sick afterwards.
Some of them, if not all of them.
Yeah, probably.
Let's see. Ark says Negan is not the Negan of old. That's why Croat figured it out when he saw Maggie and Herschel. Yeah, I don't think Croat knew why. I think that's the whole thing of why later they, kind of why she kind of threatens Victor. I mean, she ends up killing Victor regardless, but I think that's why she does it, because she wants him to tell her why. Croat knew there was something, but he didn't know what it was that he saw.
Right.
He didn't find that out. Bob's tainted meat. Yeah. That's why I said then we never saw what happened, because I think Rick killed them all, or somebody killed them all. I think it was
Rick killed them.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
But yeah, that was exactly what I thought when I saw this. I'm like, he fed him tainted meat. So yeah, but he liked that. He's
and also in season I forgot what season it was, when the Kingdom, when they were giving the Saviors pigs. Remember that scene? And they actually fed the pigs walkers to eat. So the Saviors were eating pigs that ate walkers.
And they never implied they died. I think it's kind of like with Gabriel, how he got like blood on him or whatever and got like an infection and it affected him, but he never got completely turned, because remember, he lost his vision and everything. So I have to assume that just like how they already have the virus in them, that it can do things, but maybe it doesn't always do things. We just don't know because they've not gone into detail. Right. But at any rate, the plan obviously was to kill these people.
But the point is, this storyline was done a few times already with them eating tainted meat, period.
Yes, right. They are reusing plot lines. Right. Although I did think this scene when he was telling the story, though, I did think it was done in a good way. It did make Negan look awful.
Yes.
Like, in his way of good looking awful. Okay.
Yeah. But to the Croat though, Negan was like he idolizes the old Negan. He wants him to be the old Negan.
Yes, he definitely does, and that's why he gave him his bat too. In season 1, it looked like, I assume you mean Ginny, figured out Maggie's motives to get Negan's help. I do think that Ginny doesn't think Maggie hates Negan as much as she says. I would agree with that, which I'm assuming is what she means. Is that how you would take it? That's what I think she means. Like, that she's not 100% against Negan, no. Which, obviously Ginny does not want Negan there, and she's blaming him for her father's death because to be fair, he did tell her he killed her father. So
right.
Yeah.
Oh, but maybe
that might be part of why she's mad at.
But maybe Kimberly is saying that it's because of Maggie that Negan was taken hostage.
It was, yeah.
Right. So maybe that's what she's implying. That that's what, and Jeannie knows that.
Yeah.
Or Jenny knows that.
Yeah.
And maybe she hates Maggie for that reason.
I was going to say, she might be mad at Maggie for that reason as well.
Right.
Was Negan's story real or not? That's the question. You mean originally? I mean, I definitely think Negan enjoyed it before. I think he became what he pretended to be. I mean, I think maybe in the beginning Negan wasn't, that person. But I definitely think by the end he was supposed to be. I mean, even the stuff that he didn't do in public of everyone else, he was still doing things, still raping women, everything else. And then, of course, they tried to sort of change his story. So, which we talked about this last week.
Negan never raped women. Negan was against rapists.
Well, there was the whole thing with him having multiple wives, and they implied it. And then apparently Jeffrey Dean Morgan didn't want that because it was a dumb storyline, and they tried to change it. At least that was my understanding from what I heard at the time.
Well, he was definitely a womanizer. He was a womanizer.
He was.
Like, in other words,
he could have like a bunch of different women. So.
No, he could have many women. That's okay, but he won't force a woman to have sex with him.
No, but he treated them like bad if they did.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's still questionable at any rate. But I do think that he was bad at one point. I do think maybe at the beginning he pretended. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, but
I think he enjoyed it. Like when he killed Glenn and Abraham, he definitely enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. So there is a part of him that likes to be sadistic.
Yeah.
But I think when they put him in jail, when Rick put him in jail for 10, 15 years, he was in jail, it broke him. Yeah. And he had a lot of time to think about what he did. And I think he's ashamed of what he did. And now the Crow Act keeps bringing it up, and it must be very traumatizing for Negan. But he has to go along with it because what choice does he have?
Yeah, and I think, and that's why I'm saying, I think Negan in the beginning may have been pretending to be an awful person to get people to follow him, but I think at a certain point he turned into that.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
So there is the vote again. And
well, there was that standalone episode about Negan's backstory.
Yeah,
when Lucille died, he felt guilty. He felt that he abandoned her. He felt like he wasn't there when she needed him. Yeah. And I think his anger, because remember that he was captured in a bar. They had him tied to a chair.
Oh, at the very beginning of Dead City, you mean?
No, this was still on The Walking Dead. This was a bottle episode. When it was with him and Lucille, and she was sick, and he had to go out and find medicine for her. And this group captured him, and he wasn't able to get to her in time, so he was so angry that somebody kept him from Lucille. He became like a villain himself. That's what happened to him. I think he snapped. Yeah. But I think it got worse because he actually started to like it. That's the thing.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, though, too. Lots of people have devastating things happen to them. It doesn't mean they become a sadistic killer.
Oh, of course.
And that's why
he had the tendencies to begin with.
Yeah, but I still do not think he's redeemed. I said this last week. I think that in order to watch this show, you have to accept the fact that he's a quote unquote good guy now, or they want us to think that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe by the end of the season he won't be, but
he did redeem himself. He did save them from the Whisperers. He killed Alpha. He did try and redeem himself, but they actually brought that out in The Walking Dead. He said, "It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I can never redeem myself in your eyes." I think he told Daryl that. And that's true. They're never going to forgive him for what he did.
Right. But I guess that's my point. I have a hard time forgiving him. I
Yeah.
have a hard time like trusting him as a character.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you kind of have to because to me, I still don't know that I buy that Maggie would ever work with him. But
No,
it's neither
no,
here nor there.
no. I think every time Maggie would look at his face, she'd relive Glenn's death over and over and over again. I don't see how she could work with him. No, I agree.
But she does. So if you want to watch the show, you kind of got to move on. So Arcsin, I agree. Negan's turned before Lucy died. Yeah, I definitely think that changed him big time. All right, let's see. So they are still handcuffed down in the bottom of the boat, and this is where you were saying that Herschel says, it's all my fault. I screwed up, and she doesn't. She's just like, I know I'm sorry what I said, and just wants him to be okay. I mean, I get she would forgive him. He is her son.
She doesn't know about that yet. About the fact that the fire. She doesn't know about it yet.
Wait, they didn't get out yet. You're right. I'm doing it out of order.
But he's having like a panic attack, it looks like, because he knows what he did. She doesn't know, but he knows.
She doesn't know. He just thinks, she probably thinks he means about coming when she told him not to.
Right. Now he probably thought when he was sending the signal that it was just a letting them know that they're coming. He didn't think they were going to destroy the ship and kill everybody.
No, I think that's why right at that moment, when he saw Maggie, he said, like, well, they know we're coming, so we got to go. Like, I think he intended to, if anything, at least take Maggie out of there.
Right.
I don't know that he necessarily cared what happened to the other people. But
which is a problem.
Which was a problem. But he didn't intend for Maggie or probably Ginny. I don't know. He kind of isn't super nice to Ginny, so I don't know. But I think as long as he got his mother out of there, I don't know if he would have let it happen and not wanted to stop it. I don't know. Herschel was really messed up by everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I mean, some of it's his fault, some of it's not. If he was brainwashed, clearly not his fault. But he also has grown up, messed up, had a lot of things done to him, and it's not like he can just go to a psychotherapist and get better.
Right.
So I can kind of understand some of it.
Oh yeah.
But, it makes you worry about what he could do, and if he does care if they die or not.
Right.
Okay, let's see. She probably does, but she's also grateful he saved Herschel, and that which has control of anyone. Yeah, everyone. Yes, I agree. I definitely think that Maggie, the person she is, would be grateful for him for what he did. And I can see that Maggie would maybe try to help him because she got him captured, even if she didn't forgive him just because she's a good person.
Right.
And she morally feels responsible. I'm more saying I don't agree with her working with them last season in the first place. Like, I feel like she would have found a different way. But yes, at this point, I understand that she, knows it's not his fault maybe, or it might try to help him down the road. That I kind of get now, just because Maggie feels responsible, because she kind of is. So
right.
And he, to be fair, he did let himself get kidnapped for Herschel. So yeah, I think that if anything redeemed him, I think that was more redeeming than the stuff he did in the original series.
Right. Yes, he saved Herschel.
Yeah. All right. So he comes down and she's like, let us out. And he's like, I can't. It's basically how that conversation goes. He's like, I'm sorry. I have to listen to her. And it's kind of like you want to shake him during these scenes, or at least I did.
Yeah, wait until they see Negan's alive and he's in charge now.
Yeah, he told everybody he killed Negan. That is not going to go well.
He's going to be on the chopping block.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, because they're going to find
She'll
out.
She'll be very quick to hang him.
Yeah, no, I'm sure she will be. So, that's basically that conversation. And then we have the historian. His name is something Pierce. I forget his first name, but his name's Pierce.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about that scene. He seems to know the Dharma. He said, you look familiar. Have we met? And I think she knows him too, but she's pretending she doesn't. And I wonder what their connection is.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the case. Maybe knows her from before.
Yeah.
But I don't think he knew her as this, murdering psycho lady, but might have known her, at some point. But nobody listens to this poor guy. I kind of feel bad for him. I mean, he's an idiot, but every time he tries to talk to anybody, they sort of shut him down.
Yeah.
Which would make me worry later when he gets kidnapped that he would be willing to switch sides because they aren't very nice to him. Hopefully
That's right.
But
well,
yeah.
he's probably like 20-something years old.
Yeah, he's not in clinics.
Because he keeps saying this is what New York was like before. So, and we know this is going on now more than 20 years. Or
yeah,
is it
he's old
years?
enough. He would have been a kid, I would think, but he
probably wasn't born yet. I mean, this has been going on at least 20 years. So
it would depend how old he is. Yeah, I don't know.
He wouldn't have known the Dama beforehand, is what I'm saying.
I kind of assume, and I don't know, and I'd have to really figure out the timeline. But if it's been 20 years or whatever it's been, I assume he's probably closer to 30, and he probably was a kid when it happened. But I would assume he was probably alive, maybe. Whether he would remember it or not is a whole other issue.
Yeah, but how would he know the Dama though? So she probably was a teacher or something. Maybe he saw her lecture somewhere when he was very young. I don't know. Yeah. But he definitely knows her from somewhere. So
yeah. I don't think they'd put that in there unless it had a point, and it'll probably come back around. So this is where they start hit. Okay, I think he's 30-ish. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking the ages, but I'm so bad at guessing ages. I don't know. Mine's still a guess, and I won't I won't confirm because I tend to be wrong a lot of times. But yeah, well, I don't think it said maybe his mother. I assume that whoever it was, he didn't know that well, or he would have been like, "Hey, you're my mom," unless it was his mother and then she left him or something. I guess that's a possibility, which is I'm assuming what arc means. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm sure it'll come back around. Whoops, I hit the wrong thing. So they are still on the ferry, and she thinks she knows everything and that everything's going well until here's Negan. He's looking through his scope, and he's like, fire! And boom. I did like, I will say, as much as it was kind of silly, I did like the Croat's little story. Like, I don't know that it mattered what he said about the chemistry and everything, but I like it. He's like, it goes boom, and it was like they did it right as that kind of build up the tension. I like the way they timed it.
You're right.
But yeah, explosion, and here you find out they put bombs in the buoys as well. So there, it's like a minefield they have to navigate through, or they're going to keep getting hit. And see, there Negan's like, yeah, and I do believe he's faking. And then back under the ferry, Maggie's like, hey, the pipes broke. Herschel, stand up. You can get your handcuffs off. And Herschel is not being very helpful. But thankfully, Ginny comes in, and she has a saw, and she cuts them away from the pole. Cuts their handcuffs apart. They still have handcuffs on, but she cuts them apart so they can get away. And this is where she's basically just saying to him, I love you. I care. Like that she's not mad at him or whatever, I care about that you're okay and we'll get out of this, that type of stuff. It wasn't really anything important, I don't think, that they said here. But back up top, it's getting worse. And let's see, Ark says he was young and the world fell apart. He might have been separated and just young enough to not clearly remember where he had seen her relative or not. That's true, because you don't remember a lot of stuff if you're, really young. So, I was going to say, do I have 1 second here? I made the, I resize those emote things, so if it comes up again, we should see it.
Okay.
Sorry. So this is where he is not very nice to Ginny. And
wait, but now we don't see anything.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Did it switch for a second? I'm sorry. I didn't realize it would switch everybody off for a second.
Yes.
Please ignore that. Yeah. I didn't think about the fact. It'll
It's
come back.
going on and Jamie's going on and
Yeah,
off.
it'll come right back. It's because I
Okay.
switched it. I didn't think about the fact that everybody sees what I see. I'm used to being able to do stuff and it
Right.
not affecting it. So sorry, guys. Yeah, I was just resizing it and it changed it for everybody. I'm dumb. But it's back now. So anyway, he is not being so nice to Ginny because she's trying to help and he's like, she's not your mother. Go away. Which I thought was really mean. Like she's trying to help them. She just rescued you. Give her a poor kid a break,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering why he said that. He said, she's my mom. I'm going to help her. You go find other people.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like a jealousy thing.
Or maybe he's just, again, he's operating from this guilt that he's the one that's caused all this problem.
Yeah, so maybe he's the one that has to fix it.
He has to fix it. He has to make sure his mom is okay. Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. So there's more explosions and they are thrown down. And Maggie ends up also thrown off the side of the ferry. Herschel catches her and helps her get back on. But the point of them undoing those ropes was they're trying to finally realize what they were doing is that they were trying to let loose the little rescue boat thing.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to get it going. So then back on the island, Negan is still shooting walkers and blowing up the ferry, and everybody's cheering. And then he sees Herschel. I gotta get a Kleenex. My nose is itchy. He sees Herschel and Maggie getting off the boat and onto the little rescue boat, off the ferry onto the little rescue boat. And he tells them to wait. And hold on. I'm gonna go get a Kleenex. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. It's right here. I just can't reach it without grabbing it. My nose is itchy and it's driving me crazy. So I got bad allergies. So okay. So he tells them to wait instead of shooting, and obviously Victor knows, but I don't think Victor would have said anything.
Victor doesn't know. He doesn't know why.
No, but he knows that he did
hesitating.
He did it.
Right, but he doesn't know the reason.
No, he doesn't know the reason. I just meant that he did see that he was waiting for something or that he was doing something he shouldn't be doing. But I don't think he was going to tell on him. But the Croat also has figured out something's up, which isn't good. And there's the little rescue boat. So once he knows they've gotten away, he tells them to fall on the boat, or the ferry, basically. And yeah, Croat's like, something's going on. All right. So then...
Yeah, so this part here, the Croat sees that Negan hesitated.
Yes, and he knows there's got to be a reason.
Right.
Which he, relates.
By the way, he's looking at him right here. He's suspicious of him, but do you have a shot of Negan looking back at him?
I don't know, because you're behind on a couple pictures. Let me see. No, I don't think I do.
Oh, okay.
I have the one of him smiling, and then no, I didn't get one there. But he knows something's up at any rate.
Yeah.
And then this is back to the other group. They have to fall back because there are a whole bunch of walkers that they cannot, which, every other time in this show, if there was that many walkers, they would have killed them all. But for whatever reason now, they've decided they're going to fall back.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, there wasn't that
many. Oh, there's too many of them. We have to go.
She might have said that partially because of her kid, but I don't know that.
I mean, nothing would stop them before. They would take out all those walkers.
Yeah.
Right. Now, do you see how many people survived? That doesn't seem realistic to me.
Yeah, no, because so many of them were supposed to have died on the boat, and somehow.
Right, and not only that lifeboat couldn't hold all those people. No. There was one lifeboat.
I feel like it's just to give more red shirts. They're probably all going to die anyway, one point or another. So
yeah,
you're right. I hadn't really thought about it.
They didn't need all those people though to survive.
Yeah,
it doesn't make
sense.
Right. They only need the main cast and a couple other people. That's it.
Yeah, no, you're totally right, and I didn't even notice it. But there's no way they all got off there. But
no,
they need enough people to kill later. That's my thoughts. But there it shows how many walkers. Maybe there's a lot more in the distance in the mist, and we just can't see them. We'll pretend.
Maybe.
So then back to the Dama. They have found Benjamin Pierce. And he's like, hey, don't kill me. I'm a historian. And she is basically like, okay, you can write about what happened. And she at least says for now she's not going to kill him. I mean, whether or not she will, we don't know. Plus the shot
When
of the
she said, I'm going to look at your...
You're right. You're right.
Okay, here it is. Here it is. He said, I'm a historian. So she took his notes from him.
Yes.
And she says, oh, I look forward to reading it if it was legible.
Yeah, because
so
it's all wet.
She was his teacher. I'm calling it now.
Okay, we'll see.
Yep.
At any rate, I think she can't read it because it's wet. I assume she meant when it dried. The reason why I say that is I'm kind of thinking that, isn't that where Herschel drew that picture? Isn't it in his notebook? Maybe not. I thought it was. I thought it was in his notebook, right?
It is, yes.
So I feel like she's going to find that.
She's going to find that, but I think by her saying it's not legible, she's criticizing his handwriting because she was his teacher. I believe she was his teacher.
Okay. No, you might be right. I just assumed she meant it was wet. To me, it looked like soggy.
No, I didn't think she meant that.
From being in the water, but yeah.
No, she would say if it was wet, she would say, I have to let it dry out and then I'll read it.
Yeah.
She said it's not legible.
Yeah, she did. I think she did.
Right. Right. So that was a hint that she was his teacher, maybe his English teacher. Who knows? Some teacher. Maybe she was his history teacher.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
That would be funny. Okay. Ark said that she says when it's legible. If she said when, then yeah, she might have meant dry out. Maybe I was right. I don't know, Laurie. We'll have to wait.
Okay.
But, yeah, I didn't write down the exact wording, so I honestly don't know, but you both could be right. I don't know. I'll just say I don't know.
Well, because when she said when it's legible, the camera had a close-up on his face and he looked like a little in shock by it. So I think they're implying that she was his teacher. That's all I'm saying. But we'll see.
I don't know, but I'm sure it'll come back up again.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, at this point, she says she's not going to kill him. Whether or not she will, I don't know, but she says she isn't. And, he's scared and he's just saying, oh, I'm just a historian. I want to write everything down. I'm not a soldier. He doesn't really care what side he's on. Perhaps, Kimberly says, perhaps it's his guilt in projecting his feelings. You mean... Sometimes I think we're getting these chats after, and I'm not sure if it's referring to what we're talking about or something we were talking about before. Because I'm guessing that was probably about Herschel, not about this. I guess it could be about this, but I'm guessing it was about Herschel.
I see, yeah.
I would guess. If I'm wrong, Kimberly, you'll have to tell me. Sorry, sometimes these pop up. I do think that there's a delay between what I'm seeing in program and what you guys are typing. I'm trying to see if I can get this.
Probably.
The other window up because it's got to go through the program, so it may just be I'm having a delay, and if I am, I apologize. But anyway, she is not satisfied. She is starting to blame, like she wants to know why Negan did what he did, because Pratt told him that he stopped shooting. So she wants to know why, and this is when Victor comes in. And she tells she's going to have Victor play the violin. And this is where Negan's like, he says, whatever you're planning, take it out on me. So he knows right away that she might do something to that guy because she knows that he's friends with him. She makes a comment of saying she saw the violin next to the jail cell. So yeah, she knows that they're friends. And she is using that to scare Negan. And Negan does, at one point here, say that it was, yeah, you notice with posts coming into chat. Yeah, I'm assuming you mean till I put them on the screen, maybe. I'm not sure, Ark, if you mean. It's because I'm using OBS, that's why. But yeah, I'm getting them a little delayed, I think, from what you guys are typing them, just because I can't look at all the windows at once, or I would be looking at YouTube for the chat, but I'm also looking at my notes in the picture. So it's kind of hard as it's showing me the window that's in here. I don't think I can. Let me see if I can. Maybe I can bring this window up. It'll probably disappear. Yeah, it might. We'll try that, see if that works a little better. But anyway, he does eventually admit that he said that it was a random kid and he didn't want to kill kid. He's not down with that, so that was why he paused. But she basically ignores him. Oops. Crap. Now I moved my Word file and I lost where I was. Okay. But she ignores him and tells this guy to play the violin. And she starts praising him, and then she starts saying that Bach improved on what was already before and that he didn't make anything new. So yeah, so she's like, Bach was no good because of that. I guess she doesn't consider that good art. I'm not sure how that made tons of sense to anybody but her, but that's her point. And you know that she's going to kill him. I think Negan knows she's going to kill him. That's why he confesses. But him confessing does absolutely nothing, because she leans over and uses the pen to slit his throat. And
she's not a fan of Buck.
No, she's definitely not a fan of Buck.
If he had played something else, maybe she wouldn't have killed him.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not sure her whole speech about it was nothing new. But then she gives the pen back to poor Pierce there. Benjamin, whatever his name is. She gives it back.
Right, well, was that his pen, Pierce?
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be. She sticks it in his pocket. I assume she took it off of him.
Oh, I didn't see her take it off of him.
I don't think they did show that, but I assumed it was the pen.
Yeah, that was pretty gross, the way she dropped that pen on him.
Yeah, she's like, here you go, you can have it back. But Negan is pissed, and Negan's even more pissed because he told her what she wanted to know, and she still killed the guy.
Right.
And truthfully, even if she had told him at the very beginning, probably would have killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious she was going to kill Victor.
Yeah.
She would have had to have told her maybe before he got in the room, so she wasn't mad at that point. I mean...
But you would think that they would spare somebody like that, because they need a musician in this world. They need somebody to play music. You know?
And that's what she implies at first, but...
Right.
Yeah, well, hey, who was it? Whatever Greek god it was that ate their own kids. That's kind of her point. She doesn't care.
Right. Well, it shows you that she's very into art. We saw that in the last season as well. You know, she likes artists. She likes writers. She loves Goya. You know, it has to be what she likes, though. She doesn't like Buck. Maybe if he had played Beethoven or something else, something more progressive, she would have liked that. I don't know. It's interesting.
Maybe. I kind of feel like she would have used whatever it was as an excuse.
Maybe.
The thing is I kind of feel like Negan had to have known that the Croat told her that he spared somebody. She does, I'm sure, know he doesn't like killing kids. I'm sure that's come up at some point. I feel like when he knew she knew, he should have just told her right away. And maybe it could have spared him if he didn't like hold it back at all. Like if as soon as she said, what was this about? He said, oh, it was a kid. Like maybe it would have made a difference. I don't know. It may not have made a difference. I'm curious though, if she wouldn't have had a reason.
But then she would wonder, well, then he's worried that she would think it was Herschel. He didn't want to volunteer anything until he had to.
Yeah. And that's my question too. Like, and this is what I was saying before, like he must not know that she's using Herschel, because otherwise I would think he'd be like, oh, it was Herschel. You don't want him dead. But no, he didn't. He said a random kid, and he doesn't want her to know who it is. So I guess he's hoping Maggie and Herschel get out of there, you know.
Yeah.
Get away. So then back to this group. This is where Herschel is bandaging that person's leg. That you're saying she noticed the bandage, and see, I did not pick up on that. So that's cool. You saw that. I definitely did not notice that. But yeah, it is the same material. So that's why she gives him kind of that look. But he comes over and he tells her he loves her, and she's, you know, says she loves him too, and she hugs him, and
You know, there's a delay between what you're saying and what the slide is showing, right? Because we're not seeing that yet.
What I'm wondering, are you watching it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Do you guys all have the delay? That's odd, because I would think that my sound would be synced to the video. That's the only reason I say that.
No, it's not. But I do see it now, though. But I didn't see it when you started talking about it.
The only thing I can think, technical-wise, is because we're doing the video through that Video Ninja. There has to be a way to somehow feed the screen thing through that too, maybe. I'll have to look into it, and that would help.
I just wanted to make you aware of it.
No, I didn't realize that. I mean, I knew you were, I thought you were watching it through the thing. I didn't realize, because I was looking up about sharing a screen through Ninja, and you can. I just didn't have time to figure everything out. But
it's okay.
We'll get better each time.
Back up, though, to the bandage again. Back up for a second. I'll tell you when.
That's on the bandage now.
No, it's not on the bandage.
No, I mean, it is. I'll wait until it catches up, but it is.
No, we passed it already. We're seeing Maggie sitting next to Herschel right now.
Yeah, because you're a few seconds behind. You know, I think some of it is too, like, YouTube doesn't always.
Okay, right there. Stop. Right there.
And
right there. That's it.
Ads screw it up too.
That's it. Probably. So that bandage is the same bandage on the tires that were lit up on fire. Yeah. That's how Maggie knows that he did it.
Yeah, see, I didn't. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I really did not pick up on that. I wondered why they focused on it, and I just didn't see it. No, we're good on bandage. Yeah, that's why sometimes I wonder, because Ark says it's good on the bandage. You need to make sure that where you're at, that you're like scooted forward as far as you can go on the YouTube video. That's why I said I wonder, do you have it fully live? Maybe you're.
I have it live. I'm on your channel. I'm watching.
No, I know, but sometimes when you press it, like, you have to scoot drag the scrubber thing forward. At least when I do it, sometimes it doesn't actually go live. So you may be like a couple seconds behind, and that might be why. If they're on time, that's my guess. But anyway, but you're right. You are, I'm sure, right about the bandage. I just didn't pick it up. But you know, they say they love each other. She hugs him. She's clearly forgiven him for that, even if she doesn't understand why. You know, he did it. And meanwhile, Ginny is watching this. I don't know if she's jealous or not. She might be, but I think it was more just she's making sure nobody's paying attention.
See, but here Maggie realizes that what he did. You see, initially she didn't embrace him. He embraced her. I'm sorry. He's hugging her. I love you. Mm-hmm. And then she said, I love you back. But she paused before she did. And I think Ginny is, well, it's interesting. She looks like she could be jealous here. Yeah. And that's when she looks in her bag and you see she has a gun.
Yes.
So
she has Navarro's gun.
Right. Navarro's gun?
I think. Is that what it's? I thought it was hers. Maybe not. What's it say?
Oh, I didn't know whose gun it was. But so who do you think she wants to shoot?
I kind of assume Negan, just because she thinks he killed her father. I don't see who else she would have a reason to want to kill. I don't know.
I don't know either. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess. Thanks, DJ. Thanks for coming. All right. So anyway, she's got the gun, is the point. And they're all getting ready to leave. I was going to say, actually, I think we're almost at the end. Because they go into this sort of park area. And that's the end of the episode. So we got through the whole thing. So what else? Do we have anything else to add? Trying to think what else. I'm sure there's other things. I'm just trying to think. I mean,
I like this episode. I thought it was better than the first episode. There was certainly more going on here.
Yeah, it was definitely better than the first one.
And I did like it a lot. I like that Herschel, we're seeing more of that. Herschel is very traumatized by what happened to him. And Maggie's becoming more and more aware of how really messed up Herschel is. So that I like that part of it. Negan, he really doesn't want to do this, and it's in a way you feel bad for him in a way. The Croat I like. I think he's funny. I really like the Croat a lot.
Yeah.
The Dama is really creepy. She is one creepy woman.
She is, and that's why I still kind of wonder why she even needs Negan. Does she really?
Well, she's not a charismatic person. Negan is. She wants him to make friends with those other groups because the other groups don't like her.
No, you're probably right. I just wondered that she couldn't have threatened them and scared them into it. But I guess there's so many people probably
they're not afraid of her.
Well, that's the other thing too. People weren't always afraid of Negan. It wasn't just being afraid. A lot of them wanted to follow him, which I guess makes a big difference.
Right. He's very charismatic.
Yeah. What the hell is messaging me? Sorry, I don't know if you can hear the beep. My phone keeps going off. But yeah, I agree. Like I said before, as long as he doesn't for real turn into the old Negan, if he does, then I'll have a problem with it.
Right.
Ark says, I think Herschel is more brainwashed than we know, and he's still keeping secrets. I agree.
Absolutely. Yes.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, in the next episode, they show Herschel is with the Dama. Maybe it's in a flashback. I mean, we don't know, but we see them together.
Could definitely be a flashback. That's a good point. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I definitely like this episode better. I don't know that I don't know that I loved it at this point, but I definitely liked it better than the first one, would be my way of putting it. And Ark says, I don't think it's trauma related. That's interesting.
But she did cut off his toe.
She did.
So that's very traumatic. And
yeah, that is
it's not just her, it's everything. It's losing his father, it's Negan, it's all this stuff in his life that has happened to him that's caused him to be traumatized. That's
I guess, did he do what she wanted because she caused him trauma? Maybe not, but I think it's all connected, I guess.
Well, the Dama did cut off his toe, though.
She did, but I mean, I don't know. We don't know when that happened. We don't know why it happened. We don't know.
But she still did it, so that's very traumatizing.
No, she did. But I mean, before, she might have done that after she brainwashed him. Who knows? Is what I'm saying. We really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of culty almost a little bit.
She probably did it before she brainwashed him. And that's what made it easier for her to brainwash him.
It might be. It definitely might
because,
be.
The trauma of having that done and knowing he can't get away from her, he kind of gave in to her. That's what I think.
Yeah. And no, you might be right, but hopefully we'll find out more about what happened between the two of them. Because she does, you're right, Ark, she does have a huge hold on him. And yeah, I want to know why, how she brainwashed him or
right.
Did that, or even just what she did that made him want to. I don't think he would want to help her, but I don't know. But I'm sure that we'll see more details as the season goes on.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't love this episode a whole bunch, but I did like it better next week, or better than last week. And I do think it gets pretty good. I'm excited to talk about the rest of them, but yeah,
you are
last week. Yeah, it was better than last week, that's for sure. Last week was slow, but to be fair, season premieres a lot of times are slow because they kind of have to reintroduce things and remind you of what happened and all that. Not unfun stuff.
You said some of the other episodes are really exciting.
Yeah, I think they're more exciting than this. Yeah, I mean, look, Deadpool's never going to be my favorite show. I'm not going to, be like, oh, I love the show. It's not my favorite show. But I think that the rest of the season, I think, is pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed what I've seen. I haven't seen the end yet. But,
right.
But I enjoyed, what I've seen so far. So,
okay, good.
So, all right.
That's good.
Well.
What about if you had to compare it to The Last of Us? How would you compare it?
Oh, Last of Us is miles better than this. I'm sorry. I know you like Walking Dead, but to me, Last of Us is miles.
I like Walking Dead, the original show.
I know you do.
First few seasons. I'm not saying I like everything else, though.
No, and I did like certain parts of The Walking Dead. I mean, I liked the first couple a lot, and I even liked the last season. I thought it was pretty good, most of the last season. But yeah, I just, it's been going on for so long, and some of the seasons were not great that
Hmm.
sometimes you kind of lose hope, and sometimes the writing is not maybe
That's right.
as great as
Now,
it
The
could be.
Last of Us, I mean, the last episode I thought was great. I liked it.
Yeah.
Um, there's a few moments where it's like, with the writing as well. But overall, I thought it was a great episode.
Yeah, I did
Um,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Dead
know
City,
people
but
kind
Dead
of feel
City,
both ways about that.
sorry, what?
No, I said some people feel differently about The Last of Us though, because they're still mad about Joel. But
Oh, well,
Mark
yeah,
and I
well.
think it's better. Yeah.
But, in a way, Bella Ramsey surprised me in this episode. I mean, at the end, I thought her acting was good. I thought that they brought a new aspect to her. You saw this rage in her, and
Mhm.
she became Abby at the end. She was just like Abby. It was amazing, actually.
The circle of violence keeps getting worse.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think we're going to see Abby again until maybe the season finale,
I would
and
guess you're
then
probably right.
and they're probably going to drag it out till the next season. That's what I think.
I would think you're probably right, or if we do see her, it won't be much. I don't know though. I have no clue, but I think you might be
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But at any rate, I do like this spinoff. I mean, it's one of the better spinoffs. I
Yes,
just, I don't want to lie and be like, oh, it's so great. Like I like it, and I
I
think
liked it too.
it's better.
Yeah.
But yeah, though the first season wasn't my favorite though either. So, like, I like some of the I think my favorite of the spinoffs is probably The Ones Who Live. I think was
The
probably
ones who live, right?
yeah. Daryl was the first season was good. The second season not as much.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it kind of depends. You're a bigger Walking Dead fan than I am, so people can't necessarily go by me.
But you're a big Walking Dead fan.
Yeah, I'm still a Walking Dead fan. I'm just
Yeah.
not. I've gotten to the point, I guess, where I'm not as forgiving as I used to be. Let's put it that way.
Well, for me, like I said, I like the first 3 seasons of the original show, and then maybe a few seasons interspersed. But for me, the original show was the best, better than all the spinoffs. That's how I feel, anyway.
If you count the very beginning of the show, yeah, I would agree it was the best
The,
at the
the
beginning.
first 3 seasons were phenomenal, I think.
Okay, yeah. Bye bye.
And then I love season 6 when they went to Alexandria, and season 7. Some parts were good with Negan, and then season 9 and 10 were pretty good. But like I say, it's not every season. No, absolutely
I
not.
don't know. I think in my opinion, when they brought in Negan, that's where it started to go downhill. Not because of him. I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I think he's great as Negan. But
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I was a little turned off by the violence of the beginning of that.
Yes,
And
a
then
lot
it
of
was
people were.
like it continued. And I think that's what turned me off of it to start off with. And
Yes.
they didn't necessarily pick it back up like I wish they would have.
Right.
That's not his fault. That's definitely not his fault.
No, I mean that killing of Glenn and Abraham was very brutal.
Yeah.
And they lost a lot of the audience from it. They did.
They did.
But Negan was funny at times. I mean, I enjoyed watching him in season 7. Some of the episodes were great. But yeah, there was a lot of violence though.
Yeah.
So it kind of was a turnoff to a lot of people. But overall, though, what I liked about the original show was the camaraderie between the characters, how they survived, their relationships, I think that's the appeal of the original show.
Yeah, it was more about the characters. Sometimes
Yes.
the show tries too hard to make
Right.
new and exciting zombies. And like, look,
Yeah.
it's great when you see a crazy walker death or something, but it's secondary, or at least it should be secondary to the other stuff.
Exactly.
But I mean, to be fair though, the show always looks good. I mean, you can't say like the walkers aren't done good, the effects aren't done good.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
pretty much always looks spectacular. And
Yes.
the acting's always spectacular. It's just
Yes.
the writing sometimes leaves something to be desired. And
Absolutely.
some of it might just be because it's gone on so long, they're running out of things to.
Well, it depends on the showrunner. The first 2 showrunners were great, but then Scott Gimple kind of like,
Yeah.
he messed with the show too much. And the writing really suffered when he came on. But I do think Andrew Lincoln is The Walking Dead. Once he left the show, I don't think the show could survive without him.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's
don't
my
know. I liked Daryl just as much. So
uh-huh.
if they had like given Daryl better stories, I maybe wouldn't have cared as much. Because Daryl and Carol have really always been my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Which is funny, and that's why like with the Daryl Dixon show, like I liked the first season. Some of the writing was better. The second season annoyed me because of his girlfriend, I think, more than anything. Because
Uh-huh.
once Carol came on, then I thought it was good. It was just, I didn't, like I said, I like the actress because I like Harry Potter. I was fine with her. I just didn't like them giving Daryl a girlfriend, and I know a lot of people disagree with that, and there's a lot of shippers and anti-shippers and all that stuff. But
And
I
he and
thought,
Carol are never going to be romantic, though.
no, they're probably not. But I've still always been a Daryl Carol shippers from the beginning.
I mean, in the beginning, Carol was really into him in the beginning, but he wasn't interested in her that way.
No,
He never was. I think he sees her as a sister. She's like
I think he probably does too. But I don't know. I just think they'd be good together. And I guess it's not that I expect that to happen, but it's like the tension's there, and then they add a girlfriend. It's like, no. I think that irritated me. That was part of it.
Okay.
But, I mean, yeah, I know. Like I said, I know a lot of people don't agree with me. So,
well, I kind of liked the fact that he finally had a girlfriend. Because he's been on his own for so long, but they didn't have to kill her when Carol came around.
No, they didn't.
They could have had all three of them together.
Yeah, I don't know if that was because she came back they killed her or why. I don't know.
I think they thought it would detract from Carol. That's why, and Carol was more important to them than Isabel was. So, she's the future of that show, not Isabel. So
that is true.
Yeah,
he would have.
But I love the French location, France, and
oh yeah, they have lots of sets. But
yeah, they had some really good episodes. Daryl Dixon. I like the walkers they had on there as well. That was different.
I'm just getting sick of that. And granted, this one is different. It's Walker against Walker, but I'm still getting sick of like cage fights and betting fights and all that, and because we've seen it before.
Yes.
I mean, in Daryl Dixon, we saw it, and they were souped up walkers, so they were different. But it still all goes back to when when the governor had Merle and like fighting the walkers and all.
Yes.
Like, it still to me is very similar, and I think that once was enough. I don't need to keep seeing it.
Right.
But to be fair, I mean, this show has been on a long time. Some things I kind of get. They maybe recycle it a little bit, but they need to try a little harder not to.
I agree.
That's the way I look at it. But yeah, this is a good season. Look, I like the show. I said I do like the show. I'm just not like a super fan or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I think it's good. I like it.
All right. Well, please, everybody, make sure that you subscribe to Sci-Fi-Vision so you see notification of all our shows. This show is, of course, every Monday at 9. And I should put in chat, I forgot to put my Discord link here. We have watch parties hold on one second, I can't type and talk at the same time. Watch parties at 8 on Mondays for Dead City, if you want to follow along and watch it with us before we have the live stream. We do that at 8. And then this is at 9. And then every Tuesday we have our show that's on different things, which right now includes Doctor Who, Surreal Estate, and Andor. And then on Thursday, that's at 10. And then on Thursday at 8, we have our Last of Us show. And at 9 or 11, I can't think. At 11 is when Scarlett and I start our show. But like I said, I think it's going to be Yellow Jackets probably for a few weeks. So just keep checking Discord for announcements of what's going on. But like I said, we will be doing Murderbot and Librarians coming up. I'm not sure what else, but this show obviously is not on StreamYard because we cannot share the schedule right now. So that's why we're testing all the different things. But if you haven't, I know most of you are probably watching this at Sci-Fi-Vision, especially because Laurie wasn't able to schedule it, unfortunately, because we're still figuring things out. But it should have streamed on her channel.
No, it didn't.
I'm wondering if it's going to show up after. And it's not live. Maybe it'll pop up.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
But at any rate, make sure that you check out Real Cinema Therapy for Laurie's channel, and the link for that is in the description of the video on my YouTube. So you guys should be able to find it really easy. Make sure you subscribe to her too. And I know you don't have live streams yet, but do you have any other recent videos you want to?
No, not at the moment. I'm working on a few things, but not right now.
Okay. All right. And also, the other thing I did forget is, of course, on Sundays, you can join us in Discord. We do have a Last of Us watch party as well when it drops. So lots of stuff going on there. But all right. Yeah, and I should have, make sure you check out our videos at Sci-Fi-Vision too, because all the interviews that aren't part of the live streams are there. Pretty soon I should be putting up Murderbot within the next week or whatever. I have to edit my videos, but those will be going up. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you again next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.